What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and we are back with another Saturday of Top 5s. This week, we're going to be looking at my favorite rock types, which ended up actually being a list that was somewhat surprisingly difficult for me to come up with, just because it was really difficult to leave certain amazing Pokemon off of the list. Spoilers, no T-Tar. It was just painful to leave T-Tar off the list. But anyway, I'm sure by now everyone knows that these lists are just reflective of my own personal opinion and experience, so almost everyone is going to have a different list of favorites, but I do, of course, encourage everyone to share theirs down in the comment section below so we can compare and discuss and all that fun stuff. But without further ado, let's get started with number 5. Kicking off the list today, we have a very underrated Pokemon from an underrated generation in Gigalith. What instantly drew me to Gigalith is the design, of course, but the pure rock typing was a nice bonus, seeing as how many of my favorite rock types from the earlier generations had worn out that whole rock ground typing combination. Competitively, Gigalith is a bit underrated as well, but it really doesn't have much to work with, to be honest. A shallow move pool is what hurts it the most, even if it does get access to the great coverage of Stone Edge plus Earthquake. Gigalith does get access to a couple of pretty cool and somewhat unorthodox moves for a rock type, like Solar Beam for example, but it isn't able to put them to much use because of its horrendous, absolutely terrible special attack. Though even with all of this being said, just design alone is enough to warrant Gigalith a spot on my list at number 5. Moving on to number 4, we have Onyx the Rock Snake Pokemon. Onyx is another one of those nostalgia Pokemon that you have liked for as long as you can remember, but not for really any particular reason. It's just cool looking. I guess that's as far as my thought process went as a 6-year-old playing Red version, but what can I say? Seriously though, it's kind of hard not to like a Pokemon that is so eco-friendly, creating all those homes for all those Diglets and Dugtrios by burrowing through the ground all the time. Nice guy, Onyx. Also, it strikes me a bit strange that Onyx is outweighed by Gigalith, despite Gigalith being about 5 feet tall and Onyx being 28. I guess it's safe to say that those boulders that make up Onyx's body are actually a little bit on the lighter side? I don't really know. Coming in at number 3, we have a favorite from Gen 6, Tyrantrum. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that by the time 6th Gen had come out, I had already been waiting for over 15 years for a Tyrannosaurus Pokemon, and all of our dreams finally came true. So exciting. Even more exciting is the amazing and exclusive typing of Rock Dragon, and the fact that it's more than usable in a competitive atmosphere, which I was a little bit worried about. But in fact, Tyrantrum is an absolute beast with its Rock Head plus Head Smash capabilities. Everybody knows that, and we can't gloss over the fantastic details of Tyrantrum's design either, with its king-like crown and the fringe on the back of its neck resembling a cape. So cool. It's yet another amazing fossil Pokemon in a long list of them. Honestly, I could probably make a list of all of my favorite fossils just because there are so many good ones. But for now, we'll stick with Tyrantrum at number 3 on my Rock-type Pokemon list. Coming in at number 2, we have Rhydon the Drill Pokemon. Rhydon will always have a special place in my heart, as it was on my first full team in Red version many years ago. I loved its design, its cry, and then it took so long to evolve. I mean, level 42 was kind of a late evolver back in Gen 1. But personally, I'm of the opinion that the great design of Rhydon was ruined by an awfully designed Rhyperior in Gen 4, and that might just be one of the only negative things you'll ever hear me say about my precious Sinnoh. Not sure how popular or unpopular of an opinion that is, but while I like Rhyperior and I do enjoy using it, I absolutely cannot stand that design. It's just terrible. But Rhydon itself has a lot of cool things going for it. First, it was the first Pokemon ever created, as supported by the fact that its index number is 001 in Gen 1, and that has to count for something. There's also the fact that it has the highest base attack of all not fully evolved Pokemon, which allows it to be a powerhouse competitively, especially since the introduction of Eviolites in Gen 5. I could go on for a long time about Rhydon, but we're going to have to just say that Rhydon is definitely up there as far as my favorite Pokemon of all time. But my number 1 favorite Rock-type Pokemon is Aerodactyl. Design alone was enough to get Aerodactyl pretty far for me, as I simply love the look of pterosaurs, but Aerodactyl has a combination of a lot of good things that are going for it to get it to the top of my list. While I'm not a fan of the Mega or its design, regular Aerodactyl is plenty useful by itself, as it has the highest base stat total among all fossil Pokemon, and it has the highest base speed stat of all Rock-type Pokemon at 130, which I believe is tied with Jolteon, so it's pretty fast. I remember being frustrated with Aerodactyl prior to Gen 4's release because it had such great stats, but very few good moves to take advantage of. For example, Rock Slide and Ancient Power were pretty much the only things that it could rely on for Rock Stab, since Stone Edge was not a thing yet. To fill out its moveset, you could use some other cool attacks that it got, like Flamethrower or Fire Blast, but Arrow's special attack is so bad that it just didn't work. So after the physical special split and introduction of Stealth Rock in Gen 4, Aerodactyl became infinitely more useful competitively, and I've been using it ever since. Well, that is going to wrap things up for this week's edition of Top 5s. I'll be back next week with another installment, but in the meantime, feel free to leave your own list in the comments or come say hi on Twitter if you like. Links in the description as always if you need it. Hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you all next time, but until then, game on!